Now then guys, really excited today, just about to set off to the golf course to start my brand new series, which is Break 70 at Oakleaf Golf. Yeah, so it's a bit of a new one for me today. So starting a new series this early into my channel. It might be a little bit bold. I've seen other guys have done this type of thing before, but this is something brand new for me, and something I've never done before. Break 70 is very, very difficult for me. 13.1 handicap, it should be difficult. But the course is short, the course is accessible. There's been a little bit of rain as well, so it might hold okay. But here we go, let's have a go, break 70 and see how we do. So what's the premise for this then? Well, it's quite simple really. I've never done it before, so I want to try. It's fairly straightforward. Par 68. Off the yellow tees, 5,200 yards. What can go wrong? But anyway, there's going to be 10 examples, 10 rounds, with me trying my hardest to be able to do the unthinkable and get in the 60s for the first time in my golfing life. Should be fun. So here we go with episode 1 of Break 70 at Oakleaf Golf. I hope you have fun, have a watch, consider subscribing and enjoy. So a touch of a tough start, that one. Poor drive, it was close to out of bounds. Really poor second shot. I've been hitting those really well on the range. And yeah, an underwhelming chip as well. But then still walk off with a bogey and not get a double on the card on the first is really, really good for me. A really good chip, to be fair. I was really pleased with the chip. A good flop shot, good release of the hands, and a solid putt. So overall, a really satisfying par on that. So my wedges are generally a real strength, so to get it within maybe 20 foot was really good, and then to drain a putt as well, get myself back to level par. That was a fantastic effort, really pleased, really pleased. A little 9-iron there, so it was a bit chippy. It wasn't too bad, but the putt was really good. I thought it had a chance pretty much all of the way, and that would have been a great way to go 1 under, but even par still after 4 holes off 13 handicap, that's fantastic. So I wanted to hug the left on the drive, which I did. The drive was pretty straight and it didn't get a right bounce. So it did leave me a little bit blocked by the trees, but a very sensible shot. I hit a little 7-iron over the top of the trees into position. And then a really, really good pitch to get it that close and to nail the birdie putt. Put me 1 under for the first time. That's really good. Happy with that. So again, trust the process. Played a good shot. To be fair, tried to stay away from the bunker a little bit more than I did. Just slightly pushed it. But at the end of the day, it was a decent result. I think one of the most pleasing things is my up and down on this. It was a decent 2-putt. This green can be very, very tricky. It's quite slow, hadn't been cut. So yeah, relatively pleased with that hole. Hole 7 is very similar to hole 6. If you get a decent drive away, you leave yourself with a straightforward pitch. Unfortunately this time the pitch didn't come off. I left myself a little bit too short and in huge 3-putt country. On these greens, which are very difficult, unfortunately never made it. Got close and a decent attempt coming back, but unfortunately a bogey and back to level par. What can you do? Trust the process and go on to the next. I took a little hybrid off the tee, a little 3 hybrid, straight into the middle of the fairway. Lovely little draw, probably my best swing of the day so far. The following shot was, yeah, pretty good, a little bit short, but if you go long on this, it's dead. The whites are quite close to the back of the green and there's nothing to stop your ball. Again, 2-putt par, happy. Yeah, so hole 9, if anything I can say, it was probably just a club too much with a 3 hybrid. Put it just slightly off the side back of the green. Chip, yeah, reasonably happy with the chip. Again, good contact, left myself in a position to get a par. And at this point, after 9 holes, I am level par and going on quite well. So number 10, well, what can you say? Probably my best struck iron shot of the year so far. Really good 5-iron. And then just a fantastic chip. putting it on for shorts later on, so that should be fun. But yeah, the chip looked great all of the way, really good contact. Wanted it to roll out, called what I wanted to do, little 48-degree wedge, and in she goes. 1 under again, fantastic, happy with that. So another par 3 out of Amen Corner. A tough par 3, guarded by bunkers. As you saw in the video, I didn't quite strike the 7-iron as well as I'd like to. It was a touch heavy, but it got there. I asked it to go and it went. And then again, a good 2-putt. So still at 1 under at this point, and I'm really happy with how I'm playing. Well, at 13.1 handicap, there's always the chance of a disaster hole, and that was pretty much it. So the process for this round and for the 12th hole was to play a little 3 hybrid again. I've been hitting the 3 hybrid, fantastic, little bit of draw, and just got excited and thought, let's get myself close to the green. Let's put a little bit of distance between myself and 70, and unfortunately, absolutely plumbed it into a ditch. To be fair, after the drop, I think I was a little bit unlucky. It was a fairly bad bounce to the left hand side, and then obviously you compound the error in your 3-putt from off the green. But hopefully I can learn from it. And come on, it's not over yet. I'm only 1 over, I'm still in the 60s at this point. So let's go. So what makes this hole difficult is the green, and I give myself probably the worst putt you could have. So a massive swinger right to left, up 2 tiers, just a hugely difficult, probably 60 or 70 foot putt. It was a decent 7-iron off the tee, so it was well struck. Was just leaving myself too much to do. I need to leave myself uphill. There's nothing for long though, so in the end, a bogey, but still on track. So that hole was a lot better than I played it usually. It was a decent drive, slightly left, but never worried. But the second shot, yeah, it was a little bit of a mistake. So I pulled it slightly, but pulled it aiming at the flag. So landed on the left side. My putting is the most solid part of my game. Unfortunately, a little bit of lapse of concentration, just went in and tried to tap it in. I mean, that could have put me back to 69. I mean, what can I say? I'm giving shots away at the moment. Again, I'm having to go for it a little bit, so taking a driver off that tee is something I wouldn't normally do. It brings the ditch into play, but if you go far enough right, which I did, you're safe. So my 5-wood got me within 10 yards of the green, and then it was down to short game. Can my short game live up to the hype? No, it can't live up to the hype. It was a sticky chip, let's just say. 5 on that hole after being that close is a little bit of a loss for me. A relatively straightforward drive put me in a decent position, followed by a slightly pulled pitch. Put myself into a bunker. My bunker play isn't the greatest at the moment. I could do a little bit polishing up on that, so I left myself just too much work to do for the par. Again, 2 putt, which I'm pleased with, but I should be getting that closer with the bunker shot. Probably need a birdie on the next, really. It's a very birdieable hole. A slightly ropey drive. It wasn't too bad. It was a little bit cutty. Into a narrow green like that, I probably need to leave myself less than a full pitch and wedge. So from 120, pitch and wedge into the green, pulled it slightly. Really good putt though, and a good comeback putt as well. But par, starting to run out of hope now. Well, say run out of hope. Hole in one on the last and I still do it. So, no hole in one this time. I give myself a reasonable look for a 2, to be fair, and lipped out the putt, so it could have been a 70 today, but unfortunately finished on 71. Do you know what? I'm really happy with the way I've played today. Apart from a couple of little gimme putts that I could have got, I've been round the green for an eagle chip and not being able to get a birdie from it. Apart from that, I'm relatively happy with how I've played. It still looked kind of ugly, but as a 13.1 handicapper shooting a 71, which is 3 over par, should be really happy with that. But it's onwards and upwards for next time. So hopefully, when I see you again in the next one, I'm getting a little bit closer to shooting that 69.